I've had them do carburetors and a lot of work for me before. Any of the stuff that I can't do or would take a ton of time to do, I let him do it. His name is Chris, and he's been a crew chief on vintage race teams. Basically, on several occasions, I've been able to drop carburetors off to him, explain to him that, hey, the bike has stock exhaust with whatever, an aftermarket airbox, or in this case we've got aftermarket exhaust and you see that K&N filter and a K&N filter in the factory airbox. So he knows exactly how to shim the needles to make it run properly. So I just picked those up this morning, and also he rebuilt the front forks for me. Yeah, we've got some new parts to play with and install. By the end of the day, I think we're going to have this thing fired up. So hopefully we'll be able to get a shot of that by this afternoon. Fingers crossed. I'm not going to, if something goes haywire, I'm not going to crank it up before it's ready. But I think it should be ready. I may have to make a trip to the part store if I've got some screws that are stripped. But I've got a ton more parts on the way. I have ordered brake pads for both the front calipers. I needed one brake rotor. One of my rotors is in good shape, that one down there, but this one, basically these rotors are floating like most of them are nowadays, and these are, I'll never be able to show you on camera, but there's a little bit too much give. Basically, if you're holding the rotor, if you're holding the inner, you can sort of twist the outer and wiggle it. There's just a little bit too much. So I ordered one of those. It's on its way. New chain and sprocket. Look, I mean, that's in rough shape. The adjuster's all the way out, and the chain is super loose. So I got both front and rear sprocket and chain on the way. That should be here this week sometime. What else do I have? I think that's all. I think that's it. So that should really be about all I need. There may be some little odds and ends, but that puts me right at my $2,000 budget for this bike. And by the time it's done, it's I got high hopes. I've heard the bike run. I basically busted off real quick before, so I know that it's getting spark. The internals are intact. There ain't nothing catastrophically wrong with the guts. And it's got 28,000 miles, which isn't too much. All of my sources have told me not to be scared of the miles. I will eventually do probably sooner than later, do a valve adjustment and make sure the cam chain tensioner is doing its job. So yeah, I'm going to insert a lot of previously filmed stuff from taking the pads out, cleaning the calipers, that sort of thing. And I think all that's time lapsed, and I'm gonna time lapse more of it. I'm not gonna ask all 4 of my viewers to watch me do all this time-consuming stuff. So, without further ado, I'm going to set you up, and I'm going to see if I can get these carburetors installed. Okay, so I finally, bless America, low battery. Okay, I got the airbox on, freaking finally, and it's always a nightmare. Basically got this malleable piece of plastic with not a lot of room to work with, and you got to fit these hard rubber boots around all 4 of the carburetors. It's